Tributes have been paid to the film director and restaurant critic Michael Winner, who's died. He was 77 and had been suffering from cancer. Nick Hyam looks back at his life.
Insurance companies don't want to insure me.
In later life, Michael Winner became famous for a TV commercial catchphrase.
Calm down, dear. It's a commercial.
The phrase became so popular, even the Prime Minister used it. But once, he'd been known mainly as a film director.
Here we go. Quiet, please. Shush, shush. Roll.
Their violence made his films controversial. The star of this one, Dirty Weekend, summed up the contrasting sides of the director's character.
Michael's an absolute monster, but he has a wicked sense of humour, and I like that. I really like to laugh.
Hello, dear.
He'd started making films in the 1960s, many starring Oliver Reed, many praised by the critics. The Joker's was one.
You know, I'm not even rich, I'm just sitting on a conveyor belt.
I shall set my brother on you. He can be extremely violent.
I'm gonna kill you, son.
Oh, hello, David.
He became rich and notorious thanks to Death Wish, about a middle-class vigilante played by Charles Bronson.
I said to Charlie, you know, I've got this script about a man whose wife is mugged and goes out and shoots muggers. And Charlie said, I'd like to do that. I said, you'd like to do the movie? He said, no, I'd like to go and shoot muggers.
As his film career waned, he invented a new character for himself as a bombastic, egotistical and outspoken restaurant critic who paved the way for others like him.
I think Michael would like to be remembered best as a great film director, but that's not going to happen. Almost everyone who made a film with him, it was their worst film. And with the exception of Charles Bronson, he'll be remembered by me as a great and entertaining restaurant critic, by the world possibly as the guy in the insurance ads who said, calm down, dear. And you know, I don't think he would care.
Later, he founded the Police Memorial Trust to commemorate officers killed in the line of duty. In 2011, he finally married. He'd first met his wife in 1957. In between, he'd had a succession of much younger girlfriends, like Jenny Seagrove.
You're sitting there like you're in a trance. Talk to him.
The man himself was rude, outrageous, entertaining, and quite able to take the mickey out of himself.
I want you to know you have to be very tolerant in this job. Tolerant and pleasant, like me.
Michael Winner, who's died aged 77.
The flamboyant film director and restaurant critic Michael Winner has died following a long illness. He made more than 30 films, including the blockbuster Death Wish series. And as Nina Nana reports, a younger generation will remember him for his starring role in television adverts.
He would, he once said, always be remembered as the Death Wish director, the controversial series of vigilante films he made in the 70s and 80s.
You're not wandering about. You are firing.
But Michael Winner reinvented himself many times since, and at each turn he remained opinionated and outspoken, a true one-off in filmmaking and later writing. To more recent TV audiences, Michael Winner was the man in the insurance advert who coined that annoying phrase.
Calm down, dear. It's a commercial.
But in his heyday, Winner had worked with cinema's greats like Marlon Brando and Robert Mitchum.
You'll now see me crash a Bentley, not for the first time.
He was a man famed for enjoying the good things in life, and his no-holds-barred restaurant reviews for the Sunday Times were a huge hit.
All these restaurant reviews were accompanied by letters from readers who were incredibly rude about him. And I once said to him, why do you let the Sunday Times publish all these letters? He said, Andrew, I choose them myself. Let people have their say. And I think that was great. He didn't take himself too seriously. He dished it out, but he was prepared to take it back.
But behind the man who seemed to enjoy provoking the critics was also a serious charity campaigner. Winner set up the Police Memorial Trust for officers killed in the line of duty. More than 50 have since been honoured at sites across the country. He had been ill for some years, and in 2011 he married for the first time. Today his widow Geraldine said, Michael was a wonderful man, brilliant, funny and generous. A light has gone out in my life.